for joining us for tonight's episode. It's brought to you by the Fifth Dimension, or the Sixth Dimension. Every dimension, yeah, so we're broadcasting from the third dimension at this moment. Yeah. Alright, tonight's episode is about Prison Planet. Now, actually, the initial title was, I was going to put it as Prison Planet starring you, starring everybody. I might use that title to see how this goes let's see how this rides. But it's also releasing Third Dimension, you know, not to say to put it in its grave, but basically it's connecting to higher vibrational energies, connecting more to your guides, angels, spirit beings, and not allowing the tentacles of third dimensional mind control to no longer work. People are asking, what am I talking about? Talking about the future. It's basically not letting the 3D reality, you know, the news and all that nonsense, even school, you know, distract you from what your higher vibration, because this is another way of activating your abilities, basically not letting the third world hold you down. Gradually people will receive updates, you know, downloads to increase their vibration, and you say this is the turning point, turning direction. Of course, it takes time for these things to fully come through. I just realized my mic is way over here. I changed mics, but they both, anyway. Hopefully that, well, alright, we just got started, so alright. Yeah, should be good. So, yeah, yesterday I was really down on vibration, so if I was repeating anything too many times, or kind of jolted a little bit. So, yeah, today I'm a little bit better. Not fully better, but better than yesterday at least. Okay, so, alright, before we go into the full messages, we basically connect to spirits and aliens and whoever is here that has a message for us in our soul transformation. And let's see if I can do this right. But first, you heard me talking about Buckaroo Banzai, whatever it is name. You can find this probably on Netflix and Amazon Prime. It's a hard watch. Of course, you can always rent it online. It came out like in the 70s. It's a little bit, it's cheesy as hell, but it's hilarious. Sometimes it's like, oh, what are they doing? So, yeah, and this is his crew. I think there's only like one female in the whole thing. Just kind of, it's cheese. This is the bad guy, Lithgow, and it's Christopher Lloyd, and I forget what his name is. Yeah, you know what's funny though? People that are in this are all aliens. I mean, of course we're all aliens, but it kind of gives you, like, they're showing their alien side too, which is kind of funny. So, if you wanted to see the cheese of it, and let's see where it's. Oh yeah, this is the chick that's in it. One girl. Yeah, you can probably see that. Oh yeah, she's right here. She's the only girl in the whole thing. Maybe there's somebody else, but she's the main heroine of it. And oh yeah, these are the aliens. At least one of them, at least. So I'll be connecting. Oh yeah, there's a bunch. I don't know if these are the good guys or the bad guys. I can't remember. I think those are the. I don't know who they are. So, alright, I was going to go into this in the future a little bit more in depth, but it's funny. Those are new to all this, is IvanTar.com. I have private sessions throughout the week. More about your angels, guides, and all this weirdness. So you can see the schedule here. I also have the one-handed channel. Google Hangout, Zoom, and channeling by phone. We have, yeah, about 7 days behind, once again, for delivery for questions. Also Spirit Social, same situation here. We have other channels and heroes that I do recommend. Also, the Social Network, thank you to those that are posting. And we have Jake Comic, and next one is on its way. And yeah, they're making where is that part? They're making Jake Cola, basically to by Coca-Cola, and they have Jake tied up here because they're gonna make they're gonna destroy him by making him rich. Where is that? It's here somewhere. Yeah, they're either way. Next issue, they're gonna go into it further. I forget where that is. Anyway, this is a Illuminati hangout, basically, like with Lady Gaga and stuff like that go to, and they kind of kick Jake's ass. And these are a bunch of slaves. Notice how this pizza there. So, all right, thank you to those for your support. This is where you get all information from for what's going on. Something around those lines. Okay. All right. This is Wednesday night, and the keyboard just in case I knock into it. All right. For releasing Third Dimension, not an easy task, of course. Basically not letting it get to you. Of course, you're going to have up days and bad days, and especially at work and stuff like that. It's not the easiest to connect. But, you know, all these challenges all have a purpose to keep us in the 3D environment. School is there to keep us in the 3D environment. Boy, is that the truth of it. Here's a test that makes no sense. Here's a bunch of education that makes no sense. Don't go live life sit in a classroom instead. Yep. Welcome to the prison, basically getting indoctrinated just like they do in Nazi Germany. I just got a flash of that. So that Nazism stuff obviously is still here. It's basically we're in the program of human, we're in the character as a human, at least for now. And then over time people are going to connect more to their insectoid roots, their Arcturian roots, and take it more seriously. And even connect to those vibrations to allow it to come into their environment. And through this 3D will not, you know, people will call us crazy, but yet look at the third dimension where it's all, you know, blood, murder, mind control from television, you name it, they got it. Fear of death, disease. Not to say when you connect to the aliens it's easier, but eventually it'll move out of that that mindset of the old world. Is it working for you? Where do you think cancer is coming from? It's all the worry, it's all the toxins in the third dimension mentality that's causing cancer, causing disease, causing all of this. And you can say some souls don't want to grow. They want attention, of course, that those that are sick all the time, depending on who they are. Some want, you know, this is where they're working. Some are working in the fifth dimension also. And it is not an easy direction. And so they do go into sickness here too. They don't know why. So it's different for everybody, of course. But as you go into more of a higher vibrational understanding, basically the 3D environment will slowly wrap itself up, slowly, at least in your mental state, as it won't be. People are, once again, I'm going to repeat this again. People are wondering, so what is he talking about the future? It's basically the 3D world won't be that significant to you anymore. I mean, it'll be there, but obviously you got work and you got family and all that, but things that don't really matter, you'll become less connected to it. Connecting more to yourself within, your abilities, whatever there might be. Everyone has a stronger sense in different directions, and this is the new human. Basically, it's letting go of the 3D teachings. 3D, you know, so it takes some time for, you know, the massive world to connect with that. Of course, it takes time. It's just, you know, I mean, even connecting with, you know, individually, it takes time. It's not something you easily snap out of the third dimension reality. It's, you know, because you need it to survive right now. But eventually those days will change when you no longer need food. You no longer need these things. You'll take a chance. Like, I'm going to try breathe breath in, or breath, what's it called? Brethren? You no longer need food, but you'll just know because your energies are at a vibration where now you can. Now we're so thick in the third dimension that works for some people, maybe not everybody. But down the road, it might, some just use food just for stress. I know what that feels like. It's like I need something. My whole body's feels like it's gonna blow up. As we break through the third dimension energies, is basically not to let it bother you so much. Basically, and to let it go. How many people are really ready to let go of the third dimension reality? Probably a small percent, right? Can't be that big. Because they don't know what that means. How do you don't let it bother you so much? Yeah, you might. I mean, I grew up not caring for it at all. So, that's one way. It's like, ugh. It's like, come on, really? It's like, this is the best we got? Really? It's like, no, what do you look at from a prison world? This makes sense. If it's a prison planet, yeah, sure, it certainly does look like one. So we're all slaves to our jobs, right? Even if you're a multi-billionaire, you're probably a slave to something. Slave to your own incest, whatever the hell it is. But even so, there's a lot of negativity. Once, it's letting go of the mindset. So individually, so how does this work exactly? Well, individually, slowly just feel less and less negative energies. It all depends, because you might get attacked, you might get influence from others, some beings don't want you to open up. It takes time. It's a gradual process. But the idea is to open up your senses more to the reality around you, so you can sense where the world is going, where you're going, to connect to other, your talents and find fulfillment in your direction. Using your senses and advance connections. It's to advance yourself, basically, slowly. Like I said, slowly. It's connecting more to your higher self, connecting more to timelines, healing the timeline energies. We have been removed from the timeline of war. With World War. We're not there. Now, people might talk about it because remember, that's the old way of looking at things, like the 1920s. We still have that 1950s, but even a 1920s mentality of war. Because you keep talking about World War III. You talk about World War III, you're old-fashioned. You talk about any war, and even like politics, like they're all yelling at each other. Old-fashioned thinking. I know it doesn't seem like that now. In the future, it will. Because it's crap. It's all manipulation. Let it go. It's like, who are the manipulators? That's a complicated one to connect to because there's so many webs there. It's plugging into people's minds. Like, here's the idea of corruption. Well, and it's plugging into people's mind. Running. This is the normal reality. It's like the show is in your mind. This is normal. Going to a job, if you don't go to a job, you starve to death and die. A lot of those that are homeless are Pleiadian beings, not all of them, but quite a few of them. Some are serious. I feel a lot of them are Pleiadian, actually. To show that you guys can sit back, relax. Not everybody, of course. Not everybody's meant to do that. But you can sit back, relax, and just take it easy. Because we are. Of course, they have their own dramas. Of course. But it's showing, it was like, that's a whole, like, those in the homeless, of course, some would rather have it better, of course, but there are others that are full-time homeless and they kind of enjoy it. It's not easy, but then again, having a job's not easy either. So, some are fit. For example, the homeless people, it's like a whole other world there. They're just a bunch of, aliens, take it easy, just waiting for us to wake up, you could say. They're similar to the animals in a lot of ways. They're just waiting for us to wake up. They don't always know that yet, but in some ways they do. It's like, why have all this complicated shit? You can, figure it out with just, because we're plugged into the matrix of complexity. It takes a while for us to come out of the coma. It's a complicated coma to wake out of. It's so many different layers of it. It's just basically, once again, the way we're doing things now, like with newspapers, or even television, it's all going to be old and obsolete. And you'll be connecting more to your own vibrations, creating your, like we're creating your own movies on YouTube, right? Who saw that coming? You can do your own video stuff on YouTube. Who the hell saw that coming? Nobody. Now YouTube is a big threat to television, right? Did anybody see that coming? Not really. Most did not, probably. But look at that. So the next generation is through vibration. Of course, we got a while for that. Of, you know, creating objects with your mind. Of course, that's obviously quite far up the dimension level. But that is where we're heading. This 3D reality. Everything in the third dimension that you see is going to be put in a museum. It's just not the easiest to release. Like I said, what is this? I'm going to repeat this again because it's, you know, what do you mean by this is the future? Future is everything that you're seeing right now is just, you won't need it anymore. Over time. We're not there yet, obviously, but that's where we're heading. Like I said, you're connecting more, you know, thoughts or things. Connecting more with your vibration of creating. As you, some of you have probably heard channel messages of beings just taking energies and taking, like, how does it go? Taking this this lyric of this song or this music, put this music and putting it together and creating a whole nother vibration, something along those lines. I'm just throwing that out there. But it's like we're just going to become more energy-based beings. Let's put it that way. I mean, that's a better example. We connect more with, you know, with our vibration, creating like a, not necessarily a television, but even like you touch the wall and it sees your thoughts, like what you want to convey to others. And it'll be like a movie. Your imagination's now on the screen. That's coming to me right now. Obviously, that's way in the future, but not that far. But that's where we're headed. We're connecting more to, we're turning ourselves to more of, you know, out of the physical realms gradually. So, you know, they're not really giving me a time and date of this because it's something that takes time to evolve. You know, it's just, you know, you've seen eras. You've seen the 1920s, and the 1950s, the 1970s. You see how things have changed. Well, this is, of course, that's kind of like the leap is to go into more of an energy-based being, connecting more to telepathy. But it's basically not letting third-dimensional problems, the world, bother you anymore. It's like taking all of that clutter and just putting it into a ball and sending it away. It's like you don't need it anymore. It's like even where a lot of that manipulation is coming, like with politics, it's not always meant for us to see every detail where it's all coming from. A lot of it is, you can say it's even, let's see, I'm going for politics because that's the easy one to connect to. Not to say everybody wants to connect to that, but for example, you can say those are reptilians, not necessarily of the negative, but reptilians that are being hard on us because we won't grow up. So they make life difficult for us to shake us out of our old ways. So, at least that's part of it. There's more to it than that. But, you know, sometimes we need the hard lessons to wake up the mind. So, like I said, what's going on with the political world, seeing the alien vibrations around it, and not being affected by the negative so much, and just connecting more to the outside of what's going on, vibration, outside the crap that's going on, basically seeing it at a higher dimension. And some might see drama. I see more reptilians that feel like they're playing around with us and just waiting for us to notice them more. Obviously they're at a higher dimension. These are like at 6th, maybe 7th dimension is what I'm picking up on. Obviously there are others that are lower, but the higher ones are just like watching us, just not to say they have popcorn by them, but they're waiting for us to snap out of it. And obviously we weren't always meant to snap out of it, but now we are. Once again, gradually. where basically the third dimension in this, how this is going to go to the mainstream, I have no idea. Anything with the alien vibrations, like aliens coming, like a big awakening, they're not telling me anything right now. It's just go with the flow. Let's see, the Arcturians are connecting to our timelines basically for us to not necessarily speed things up, but for us to understand it more. Let's see. September is a turning point month, at least on the physical level. Say we are connecting more to fifth dimensional vibrations, but we're going through a hard fourth dimension vibration too. So like with the politics, hard politics. Realize when Earth goes into a real awakening energy, we're going to start getting rid of things little by little. Like with education, we no longer need that type of education anymore. That's going to be drastically huge. So what we are at now is preparation for us to go into our consciousness little by little. I keep saying that, but it's true. Because somebody say, I want it now. Yeah, join the club. Especially when I'm feeling all these other energies, I want it now too. It's like, I feel a lot of that. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah, I can't imagine why. Let's see. We're connecting more to the angelic timelines as we're basically letting this fourth dimensional energy come in through more clearly. Now, some say we're already in fourth dimension. It all depends on who it is. Everyone's different, so everyone's connected to their own energy set. So, like the reason I don't think we're at fourth dimension is because our education system's still the same crap. Media is still the same, kind of. So everything is evolving online, so it shows that we are going into a more digital realm, and that's it's another way for us to have more control over it too. So we can connect to it vibrationally. So eventually, we won't need the internet. Is like a third dimensional connecting point for us. Has its ups, has its downs, but it's another way for us to connect through our energies to connect. And eventually, vibration will go worldwide. We can telepathically connect. You see somebody on, fifth dimension TV, whatever that's going to look like, and telepathically connect to that actor, whoever it is that's there. So, that's where we're heading. It's just not that clear at this time. So yeah, the old world is not necessarily. We're changing gears. This is a big gear to change. So it's just like any other movement. I would call it a movement, but it's culture change. It takes time for it to evolve into more of a high. Because when things start to pick up, time's gonna speed up drastically. It's like letting go of the gender neutral stuff, the gender situation. It's all that took for that to take off. The alien stuff's gonna be the same way. It's going to vibrate and get stronger. It's still in its infancy because a lot of people don't believe it. They don't believe they're aliens. They're skeptical. We're in the 3D matrix. We're ran by the archons. We're okay with that because that's what we're used to. So releasing, like unplugging yourself from all that is because they don't want you to unplug from it. So they're going to put obviously a lot of fear around you. So they're going to put everything they can around you to say, are you sure you want to? No, you don't want to do that. Stay with us. Everyone else is. Well, is that the truth of it? So it's a gradual awakening like anything else throughout history. So let's see. You see, 2016, a lot of these energies really started to speed up, but now we're going into it's 2018. You say we're picking up our pace. As for alien visitations, so I believe more people will get dreams of this. Just feel it's getting closer. The more of those numbers start to increase, the more it's likely it will start to happen. A little here or there, little by little. Like I said, I felt it 2 years. So is this all going to start speeding up between now and 2 years? They're not saying anything. You can say we're in the beginning stages of warming up. It's kind of giving you an idea of what's to come. So yeah, it's basically the third dimensional way of life isn't coming to an end right away, but it's going to gradually shift out. It's just old technologies out, new technologies in, more advanced technologies, little by little, to give us an indication where you can say Tesla is in some ways a side of that. We're doing all the space stuff too. That's a side of it. Notice that it's not really going anywhere. Well, sort of, but you know, because we're gradually moving into that dimension where it will speed up, but you know, we're still baby steps into the new direction. Let's see, message from Spirit. Take time with this. You're still warning about yourselves on what you want to believe, what you do not want to believe. Basically, what you want to allow in your energy source. It's just because you don't believe in this type of knowledge doesn't mean it is not. It's like you're not ready for it right now. You add it to yourself over time. But you're connecting to the vibrations that's right for you at this moment. Some will shift out to the old ways, into the new ways. You're not ready to let it go. So right now, many of you are going to a familiar energy. You're going to also your star family. Also, that's in this dimension. In the third dimension, you're connecting to that too. This is the spirit world speaking to you at this time. So basically, trust your intuitions. Who is your star family? They're in the third dimension along with you. It's like looking at your favorite TV show. How many people like that show? That's your star family is with that too. It's just you're all in a collective. You like different things, but you can find your family in these different things that you like. Even with the Mac computer, is very much a Palladian energy. Your PC is more actually an Arcturian. I know it sounds strange, but that's the one that needs the most love at this time. But also connects you to your alien friends too. Yes, there are Archon timelines that some of you incarnate into. Yes, an Archon reality you're living in. But some of you take on an Archon timeline that is more difficult than your average timeline. You're getting poked and pronged, and this has happened to you, this is happening to you. It's basically many of you incarnate that to advance yourself quickly. Some of you are on a Palladian or a Arcturian timeline where things are a little bit easier. You go to education, it's easier, but some of you come here as alien, and many Archons are not accepting that. And you go through the Archon timeline, and many things are going to be different. You need to think properly, but basically, there does come a time when you can be more alien in your environment, meaning to show your more alien side. As for alien languages, even your moods, even your vision. You can also shift out of the third dimension. Not yet, but many are preparing for that. So what are you doing? Yes, you are come here as human, but some of you are going to shape shift out of being human, at least for a moment, to show others who you are. So you're having a conversation with friends, all of a sudden you shift and others see it. That has not fully occurred at a global scale, but it will. As you are preparing for the new Earth, how to get to this new Earth, you need a new you first. And at a low vibration of 3D, does not function that well in a high vibrational reality. So you are clearing out yourself. You're doing a vacuum of third dimensional vibrations. It does take time to release. Many beings, energies do not want to leave, so they walk on to you to keep you in 3D. But also you're here to learn these lessons. You're all here to go together. Not necessarily. Just one of you is going to go to the new earth, far from it. Many of you are already there. It's your understanding more of the new earth knowledge into this reality. But this world's going with you as you are taking this world into the new earth. So it's going to parallel realities are coming in slowly. New way of thinking. How do we do it in the fourth dimension, fifth dimension? We don't need to wash clothes anymore. That is, yes, the old realities. And you will see this too. As you basically visualize clothes and they disappear. You make your own clothes basically. And there's others that will design them too. Take that design with you, that thought design, and add it to your vibration. So you are, yes, crossroads into the higher realms. Some of you feel it. It's like an angelic vibration. It speeds up, yes, because you are attuning to a new reality. This one, yes, is very dense. This world become very alien to many of you, as you will see it as an outsider. No, not so much as a 3D human, but as a 4D human. You see how it's all operating more clearly. This is the time to relax and allow yourself to imagine. Because your spirit world is getting stronger among many of you. Because you're trusting who's around you. Because you're ready to feel less dense. Feel more happiness. And add happy thoughts from the higher dimensions into this reality. As you are feeling better, others feel better. You're always sending out energies to others. A circle of love more than a circle of life. As love, yes, conquers all, but so much more. You become more of a loving being to yourself. Instead of a dislikeful being. But this is also teachings of the third dimension reality, at least on your world, is to once again trust yourself more. Some they come into despise themselves. The idea is to love yourself more after you're done despising yourself. The darkness of the soul is needed because not many experience that in other realities. It is to hit rock bottom of what you look like, how you see, who you are. Identity crisis goes into full alert mode. You go down into the gutter, but only to heal and resurrect yourself into a higher dimensional being. So you're stringing together the higher vibrational realms within yourselves. Just be yourself. Allow yourself to connect to the universe. Allow the spirit world to come in. Blessings to you. Alright. Alright, blessings everyone. And have a great night. Take care.